Hey everybody, this is Tyler from the library. In this video, I'm going to show you how I designed an outdoor game using cardboard, tape, and glue. So the first step I did was I drew out my plans. I knew I wanted to have like a cross with like 5 posts on it that I could toss rings onto. You can see it on the left, and on the right is the actual size of the post that I wanted to add as well. I also drew out my plans for the rings that I wanted to make for the game. So I first started out making the rings for a game, and I just used some mixing bowls I had to draw a circle onto cardboard. I used a big one first, and then I used a smaller size bowl for the internal size ring. And I drew both of those out. One technique I used to help cut out my circles was scoring. So I used a screwdriver to trace out the pattern that I wanted to cut out. And making this indent into the cardboard made it a lot easier to cut out. So once I got the outer part cut, I poked a hole on the inside, and then I used that to start cutting around the internal circle. And this was the finished product. But as I went through this process, it took a lot of time to cut out a circle. That shape was really difficult. So I decided to redesign, instead of using a circle, just to use a square. I tested it out, and it flew just as well as a circle shape. And it was at least 3 times faster to make as well. So I just measured and cut out 4 equal lengths of cardboard, and then I glued them together into a square shape. As simple as that. I next measured out a piece of cardboard that I wanted to use for my cross shape. I then cut those pieces out and then measured out how wide and how long I wanted it to be. And I know it's kind of hard to tell from this image, but the joints where the cardboard met were a little loose, so I used an extra piece of cardboard to reinforce where it bent naturally. I next found the center point and glued my cross pieces together. I next started working on the tubes that I throw my rings onto. I knew I wanted to have about 1 inch diameter, and using some math, I realized I needed to cut out strips that were at least 3 inches and 1/8 inches wide. So I measured those out, and then I cut them. So I measured and cut one, and then I used that one as a template to draw out the other 4. So I was trying to go for that circular shape of a tube, and one technique I found that helpful to make that circular shape is using scoring again. So I used a screwdriver, and I just made shallow lines or indents up and down the length of cardboard that would be my tube. And what this does is it breaks down the internal part and allows you to bend it into a circle, which you normally wouldn't be able to do with just a regular piece of cardboard. The important thing is not to cut through to the other side. You just want to make kind of shallow cuts or indents into one side. And once you do that, it'll allow you to kind of wrap it into a sort of circular shape, as you can see here. And next, just then tape them together. So tape it shut. You could also use glue if you wanted to, but I found tape was just the easiest right now. And you can see I got a pretty good circular shape using the scoring method. The next thing I did is I took my scissors and I made little shallow cuts all the way around the circle. I tried to make them at the exact same length and height, and you'll see why in just a second. So once you've made all your cuts, then pull them out. And what this does is it's giving us a lot of surface area that we can then attach to our cross piece to stand up our pipe. Because before we didn't have a lot of surface area with the tube, but when we place it down onto a flat surface, it allows us to glue it much easier and makes it a lot sturdier connection. I repeated this with 5 other tubes and connected them both. And once I was done, I finally had my ring toss outdoor game. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful as a way you could design and build your own outdoor game.